Impacting Life 24/7 sponsors are unique in that they help us to continue to impact one life, one day at a time. Our gold sponsors, Michelle Perry. She is the host of the Successful Diligence podcast and best-selling author of The Pebble in My Shoe. You can connect with Michelle and get a copy of her book at successfuldiligence.com. Paula Cousson has dedicated her life volunteering in community youth programs such as the Young Marines. Paula believes that the greatest asset each young person has is at least one caring adult in their life. Donald Lamb, he and his wife have been happily married for over 35 years. He is the proud father of one daughter and 3 sons. Donald honorably served his country for over 22 years in the United States Army and retired with distinction. Active in his community, Donald is the owner and operator of Mama's Boy event planning and coordinating services. Connect with Donald at facebook.com/Mama's Boy Events Coordinating. Amanda Aker, coming from a past of drug abuse, homelessness, and being a convicted felon, Amanda has broken through and was able to let the good things into her life. Amanda is now on a mission to inspire and motivate people just like you. Amanda's core message is that our past does not define us, and we are way stronger than we think. Connect with Amanda at facebook.com/Amanda.Aker2017. Our platinum sponsors, Mr. Gregory Smith. He is the author of 100 Simple Ways How to Manage a Property and Evidence Room. Get your copy by reaching out to Gregory Smith on Facebook or email him at smithg1963@yahoo.com. Adrienne Barker. She is the host of the Adrienne Barker Speaks podcast, a life coach and CEO of Professional Global Etiquette. Please connect with her at professionalglobaletiquette.com. Mr. Mike Black from New Bern, North Carolina. Mike helps men throughout Eastern Carolina lead a faith-filled life. He is a compassionate leader in his church and a devoted husband and father. Dr. Nate Dunlap Jr. He is the executive director of the PRF Institute. He's the author of What's Next? Preparing for Eternity and Don't Leave Me Like This, Inspiration to Leave a Legacy. As a 501c3 organization, the PRF Institute is blessed to be the premier stewardship-based teaching ministry that truly responds to the needs of others in the community. Contact him at prfinstitute.org. If you would like to become a sponsor of Impacting Life 24/7, it's very simple. Just visit clkingspeaker.com. Yes, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Just visit clkingspeaker.com, and this is Impacting Life 24/7, the early edition. Sometimes I like the early edition. You know why? Because then you can get to bed. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Another high-definition episode of Impacting Life 24/7 coming to you live from Impactville, sitting high atop the Ruth E. Plowden Legacy Chair. You're wondering who Ruth E. Plowden is? That's my foster mom. She'll be celebrated in my book coming out July the 24th, entitled Who Ate My Brownie? No matter the adversity, you still can make it. So we're here tonight. We're here early. So if you watch this on the replay for our live audience, if you would just let us know that you kind of saw this on the replay, maybe do hashtag replay or something like that. And if you are watching live, just give us a shout out and let us know where you're watching from. We really appreciate those people that participate with us in the live environment. Conversely, if you are watching this or listening to this episode during the podcast, which is heard around the globe, it's 43 or 44 states. It's 20 something. No, I can't remember now. 30 plus. I haven't done it in a week or so, guys. I don't forgot how many numbers we're at. 30 plus countries and over 30 plus platforms. And so I got to go back and check the metrics or numbers this week. But nonetheless, it's all over. And so some people get wrapped up in their, I know this is just going to sound so callous, but some people get so wrapped up in their 9 to 5 and they do nothing outside of their 9 to 5. They impact no one, but everything they got in life is staked on the clock. And what we do is kind of after the clock. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is here at Impactville. So let me do something here real quick. Let me switch this over to here so I can see what's going on. And I believe that we got you guys up on the big screen, which is a positive, Because when you get on the big screen, man, I don't have to be squinting down at my phone wondering who's saying what. So, again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Impacting Life 24/7. I know that there are multiple ways that people can participate in the evolution, because it really is every night. It evolves from something else and it turns into something greater. But I want to thank you for your contributions. I'm talking to my sponsors now. All of our sponsors, man, listen, they could put their money anywhere on the planet, and people do. They can invest in anything that they want to invest in, and they choose to invest here. I just got a message back from the Onslow County Boys and Girls Club group. We've been in some negotiations with them to do some summer camps for them, and hopefully that will come to fruition. And we don't charge for those. It's all on our time, and thank goodness our sponsors help us go out into local communities, and that's really what we do. We make an impact in the lives of the next generation. So thank you to all of our sponsors. I think we thank them in the live chat. I try to do that as much as I can. I try not to spam them because these people got their own lives. And I'm just thankful that, when you say, well, how much is sponsorship? Well, go to my website, clkingspeaker.com. Just go to clkingspeaker.com and you can see exactly how much it is to become a sponsor, and you'll be blown away at how easy it is to participate on this Impacting Life journey, Impacting Life 24/7. CL King Speaker. I'm typing that in the chat for the folks. clkingspeaker.com. You'll be amazed at how easy it is to participate in the Impacting Life journey. I told Greg this. I said, listen, man, a lot of people don't realize the grind that it takes just to fulfill one event, okay, where you're talking about a live event or whatever. Sit down. Sit. I got Samson in the studio with me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people don't realize how much it takes to fulfill a live event, and all the work and preparation and planning, etc., just for one. And we have to book out months in advance to try to accommodate everywhere we're supposed to go and everywhere we're supposed to be. And that does include virtual, because we're in a different posture than we were 2 years ago. So I'm here tonight to talk to you about and again, thank you for listening on our podcast. Thank you for tuning in to our live audience. This is Impacting Life 24/7. You can find us at clkingspeaker.com. If you want to go to the podcast, anywhere where you get podcasts, just go and type in Impacting Life 24/7 and look for this mug right here. Look for this face. It's undeniably indescribable, right? So I wanted to talk to you tonight about there is no time to forget. And I'm going to do this from because we're continuing to celebrate, and we've just dived into a month-long series of Black History recognition. Now, I've done something a little different this Black History Month, and I just felt like it was important for us to do it this way. What I've done is I've recognized, and we are recognizing on Impacting Life 24/7 Black history heroes who are still alive making history. Oftentimes what we do is we look back and, listen, I'm that's my message tonight. I'm going to help you. So don't think I'm not interested in looking back. Sorry, Samson was trying to roam around, man. I had to tell him to sit down. It's not that I'm not interested in looking back, but the reality is that we also have people who are doing so well in real life, in real time, right now. They're doing well right now. And when we sometimes run past the essential to seek after the important, I think we do those people a disservice. People who are creating history now. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to focus on. That's what we've decided to focus on for this entire month of Black History. Our whole Black History Month celebration is every day or every other day or so, we are bringing people who are making history to the forefront of the Black history conversation. Now, we just finished the Super Bowl, and those of you who may know me a little bit understand that I am from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm originally from Cleveland. And so, I was there when Bernie Kosar and all of them lost. I was there when Ernest Biner fumbled. I was there when Kevin Mack whatever happened. I was there when John Elway did the drive. I mean, I was up there then. And so we've got some bitter herbs. We've got some unleavened bread and bitter herbs in the Cleveland, Ohio area, the northeastern Ohio area. And so when we saw that Cincinnati was in the Super Bowl, it's like, wow, some representation on the big stage. And so, I was just cheering for them, even though I've lived in North Carolina now for almost 30 years. I was cheering for them. And it's like, it seems like every time I go watch the game or whatever, it always fails. I always jinx the team. But I don't think that the football game drew nearly as much conversation as the halftime show. And if you happen to tune in and you're happening to tune in right now, and I'm talking about the Super Bowl halftime show, which is going to weave into our entire discussion tonight about There's No Time to Forget. What were your thoughts about the halftime show? Because listen, I scrolled through social media immediately afterwards, and I wanted to get some reactions. I wanted to see what some of the reactions were, and how people were feeling about this hip hop representation on the grandest, largest stage in entertainment and sports. And so when I saw that there was a lot of like, man, my head was bobbing. Yeah, I remember that. I was thinking going back in the day, blah, 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 blah. And then there were other people that was just like, it was not my cup of tea, which is acceptable, which is what we should expect. You know what I'm saying? Like every Super Bowl actor, every music genre may not be your cup of tea, and that's okay. Okay? Heavy metal is not my cup of tea. You understand? Country and Western, most of it is not my cup of tea. And it's okay to say, that didn't do nothing for me. It just wasn't there. But then there's a huge swath of the urban inner city hip hop generation of the late 80s, early 90s that was just like, yeah, you know what this did for me? See, because where I'm going tonight with There's No Time to Forget, what this did and how this ranks amongst, the mecca of halftime shows, because some people are saying it was better than Michael Jackson's halftime show, which that's debatable. Then others were saying it's better than Prince's when he was playing a purple guitar in the rain and didn't get electrocuted. That's debatable. But both of those shows were setting the standard. Okay, the Michael Jackson show and all of the other ones. I mean, Janet Jackson, any of them that you want to reference, they were setting the stage. They were setting the standard, so that if some impersonator wants to come 30 years from now and pretend to be Michael, he can come and take us back, right? The late Michael Jackson, who has gone on to his reward. Sit down, buddy. Sit. And then the same thing could be said for someone who would come and do a medley of Prince. For those of you who can't see me, who are listening to the podcast, yes, I have my large golden retriever in the studio, and I just have to keep him kind of close to me because, man, the dude, when I start talking, he's like right on my leg right here. He's right here, and he's not going anywhere. But if I let him out of my sight, he might be eating socks out of the laundry basket in the other room. So I have to keep an eye on him. But, if somebody, in future Super Bowls to come will, do a Prince rendition or all the other ones. I don't even know all the names of the the artists who have performed in Super Bowls. But whatever it is, there's shock value, there's entertainment value, there's money value, there's ratings value. There is a reason why the NFL decides to pick certain people for the entertainment, the halftime show. And so when I rolled through and when I scrolled through Facebook, some people was like, blah, 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 blah. Other people was like, well, I guess that show wasn't meant for me. And, on and on and on and on. There was even some innuendos about, well, like, okay, so we bring in the gangsters out and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, my goodness, guys, let's deal with what it was and what it did. Okay? When you heard Dr. Dre go over there and get on that white piano and start playing those bling, 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 right? When you heard Dr. Dre go over there and do that, you immediately got teleported back to, 1990, 1991. You know what I'm saying? It's just a reality. It caused us to remember a time 30 years ago. It caused us to reflect. And now, these folks who've made this music, they weren't always millionaires. They weren't always asked to come sing at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? They weren't always the flashy, glamorous people that they are now. They actually lived in the hood. It was actually an urban scenario. It was a struggle. It was an underrepresented class of people trying to scratch out some sort of survival down there in Crenshaw and Long Beach and LA and everywhere else. That's a reality. So what that did when they brought Snoop, they brought Eminem, they brought Dre, they brought Mary J. I mean, I thought about Mary J. Blige and I was just like, wow, that took me back to my Marine Corps days. Because Mary J was on Kiss 102 all the time. You know what I mean? You just heard it. I'm out there picking parts for the squadrons and bobbing to Mary J. Blige. It just caused you to remember a time. And my message for you tonight is there's no time to forget. My message for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, listening and watching on this going on 3 year, what is it, 3 years? Wow. Yeah, it is. Going on 3 years of production, that there is no time to forget. See, because I'll be honest with you, I forgot about the chord, bling, 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 bling. I forgot about that. You know what I mean? I forgot about D-O-double-G. You know what I'm saying? I'm in another space in time. I'm in another place in my life. I'm in another society, if you will. And so I've forgotten about those guys and the music they did and the emotions that they created that art form from. I forgot about that time because I connected and I remembered what I was going through when that music was playing. Now, you go back even a little further. If they brought back LL, right, and Kool Moe Dee and all them brothers, right, I would go back to a time 10 years earlier where I was, hampered down in a group home or sometimes walking around without a house. So it causes us to remember. And this is what my message is that we've got to remember. This is what Black history is about, okay? Black history is not just about painting your house red, black, and green, doing a bulletin board once a month that's got some African colors on it, and everybody tiptoeing around the terms Black history. No, because really it should be a part of American history, right? That's really where we are. Blacks are responsible for a lot of, I've already gone through that. You missed that show. You got to go back and find it. I've already gone through all of the accomplishments and contributions that African Americans have made in America. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to help you out tonight. I'm far from sleepy this night, Brother Greg. None of my staff is with me tonight. I'm flying solo, so you know I'm liable to get myself in trouble. I can guarantee you that the power of music is nowhere near as influential as the power of forgetting. I can guarantee you that the power of music is nowhere near influential as the power of forgetting. See, because I had tucked those experiences away. You know what I mean? I had tucked those running from gangs trying to beat me down away. And then when that music started playing, and I'm telling you what, I was just like, I was at my homeboy's house. We watched Super Bowl, man. I'm just like, yeah, you know, he's 59, I'm 47, and we vibing. You know what I mean? We just went back into a different time because it caused us to remember. But then we find ourselves fast forwarding to 2022. And what I want to tell you is there is no time to forget. There is no time to forget. There was a man, some of y'all might know him if you picked up your Bible. There was a man named Joseph. Now, Joseph was the youngest of Jacob's kids, right? The 12 tribes of Jacob, also known as Israel. And Joseph was favored by his dad because he was a son in his old age. And rendered for Joseph a garment, a coat of many colors. There's a lot of typology of that coat. And I look at that coat, I look at Joseph. I look at that coat and I look at Joseph. I look at that coat and I say, man, the coat of many colors could be symbolic of our times today. We have multitudes of demographics and genres and generations and colors that represent us every single day. Right? I look at the coat of many colors of Joseph. I look at that. He was the dreamer. He was the visionary. He was the man that said, man, I see things that y'all cats can't see. Y'all just sitting around waiting for daddy to die, but I see things that y'all can't see. I see it in a different realm. In fact, I see that I am supposed to be in a place that I'm not even in subservience to you. That it's actually the other way around. Joseph was a coat of many color wearing dude that was a visionary, that was the youngest. Woo! And we find ourselves, that's right, Dr. Wallace, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. when we find Joseph traversing through, he details for them, hey, listen, 7 fat cows, 7 skinny cows, one gonna eat the other. 7 stalks of corn, sun, moon, and stars made obeisance to. That's why you got to be careful who you tell your dreams to, because you might find yourself in a pit. Right? Y'all know I'm writing a book. You know it's coming out 7/24/22, but you don't know the full counsel of the dreams of C.L. King. I've only told those to a small morsel of people, because I'm not trying to wind up in a pit, because jealousy will have you in a pit. You trying to express yourself. You trying to, man, when I find out somebody doing something good, you know what I do? I ask them, hey, you want to come on the show? So I can just tell the world how good you're doing. The Lord told me, he said, boy, you better keep yourself humble. Everybody that you see that is excelling, everyone that you see making an impact, find a way to get them on here and let's celebrate them. But no. It's just are for no more. So we get jealous of people that are doing good, and we wind up putting their dreams and their visions into a pit. Oh, you know I'm talking now, boy. I done had a few days off from the podcast, so I got a whole lot to counsel. But I'm talking to you tonight. I'm talking to you tonight about there's no time to forget. This is a Black History message. Listen closely, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to you tonight about there's no time to forget. I spent a few minutes articulating for you how the music of Snoop and Dre and Eminem and Mary J and the other cat, I have no clue who that brother is, but I had to Google that brother. Now, Tabari, if you still on, don't you know DMX would have lit that stadium on fire, brother? But yeah, I had to Google the last dude. I didn't know who that was. But all them other cats, they brought back memories that I had forgot. Made me think, man, made me reappreciate the struggle that I went through. And Joseph was the guy that was supposed to corral the memories of humanity. And his brothers was jealous of his gift. He would have tore it up, Tabari. You know he would have tore it up, Dr. Wallace. I think Dr. Tabari Wallace is the modern day DMX for education. I know his DPI folks will argue with me on that, but I'm just saying he is second to none in my opinion. So Joseph, he told Pharaoh, after time goes on, I've got to fast forward because I can't keep y'all all night because I ain't getting no offerings, okay? Joseph grows up. Even after his brothers put him in a pit, he winds up going into a prison, and he finds himself out of all of that mess. Second in command, and there's a famine coming. Jacob tells, listen, you got to prepare because the Pharaoh has a dream. You got to prepare. This is what my job is. This is how I fit. Joseph represents our memory. Joseph represents blessing and power and vision and prosperity. Joseph represents now, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph represents 2022 when we can roll up to the cut in our nice, shiny, shined up, spotless rims. You know what I mean? Joseph represents how we can live in our 4,200 square foot homes. Joseph represents how we can go out to eat every night of the week and never miss a beat. Joseph represents now. I'm feeling something on me, y'all. And Joseph came. This is Genesis 47. He came and told Pharaoh. He said, listen, my father, my brethren, my flocks, they finally found out, oh, the dude that's handing out the food was the dude that we sold out. And Joseph said, don't be upset with yourself that you sold me hints. God sent me before you to preserve your life, yo. I'm good. Come on. And Joseph came and told Pharaoh, he said, my father, my brethren, my flocks, and the herds, and all that they have come into the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brothers and 5 men and presented them to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, what is your occupation? They said, we ain't up but herdsmen, Mr. Pharaoh. That's what I tell people. Look, don't be asking me to come lay blocks and form walls and all that kind of stuff. I'm a speaker. I don't know how to do nothing else. So Joseph is there, and the famine strikes after he interpreted the dream of Pharaoh. And he's like, look, I got my family there. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, thy father and thy brethren come to thee. In the land of Egypt is before thee the best of the land. Make thy father and thy brethren dwell in the land of Goshen. Let them dwell. Give them the best. Set them up. Give them Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Give them higher wages. Give them more money. Give them bigger houses. Let them live lavishly because of what you've done. And Joseph's leadership is used throughout the famine. You understand? Leadership is important. And there was no bread in the land, and the famine was great sore, just like Joseph had talked about. This is in Genesis chapter verse 13. So the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted for the reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the lands of Egypt and the land of Canaan for the corn which they had bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt, in the land of Canaan, and all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us bread that we should, or else we should die in thy presence. For the money faileth." And so Joseph said, "Give us your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if the money fail." And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses. Joseph was wheeling and dealing, right? And nobody died. And Joseph brought all the land, this is verse 20. Joseph brought all the land of Egypt before Pharaoh. For the Egyptians sold every man his field because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. Pharaoh, he doubled his money. He got Joseph in charge. Everything is flourished and lavish and going good, right? Then Joseph said unto the people, "Behold, I have brought you to this day to this land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow in the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give a fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own. For the seed is the field, and for your food, and for them that are in your households." And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and they grew. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I'm not just rambling. Verse 27 in Genesis chapter, let me make sure I get it so some of them theologians out there won't be saying I'm a heretic. Let me tell you, Genesis chapter 47. Genesis 47 verse 27 says, "And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt and the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and they grew and they multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. Prosperity kicked in because Joseph fulfilled his purpose, right? Prosperity kicked in because Joseph fulfilled his purpose. But there's no music. There's no money. There's no corn. There's no land. There's no cattle that can compare to someone that forgets. See, we think there's nothing left to accomplish in this life, y'all. We think, well, Lord, they don't let all the black people sing up there on the stage at the Super Bowl. What else is there? Right? We think that because we've got houses and cars and lands and seed to put into the ground to continue as a perpetual generational inheritance for our kids, we think that we're good. There's absolutely no way. We weathered the storm. We weathered the famine. We weathered the race riots. We weathered the bus sit-ins. We weathered Dr. Martin Luther King's we shall overcome. We weathered the killing of Dr. King. We weathered the Malcolm X shooting. We weathered people sicking their dogs on black folks down in Alabama. We weathered that. And here we are now, better than we've ever had it. And we should never speak on it again. Y'all want to be very transparent with you? I've had people ask me, well, why does there need to be a Black History Month? Why can't we have a White History Month? You know, I've had people say that to me. I don't care if Spotify and everybody else withdraws their support for me. I will go outside and talk on the street corner where it's free. It don't bother me. You guys know I don't say things to be provocative, but I do at times not hold my tongue. See, the problem that we are in is that we have so much substance and so much abundance and so much wealth, and we've increased so great that we could be on the precipice. We could be on the very cusp of forgetting how we even got here. Boy, I'm teaching tonight. Boy, that's, you know what, that's worth at least 2 hand claps. See, because here's what happened in Exodus chapter 1. This is I'm getting ready to close, y'all. This is what happened in Exodus chapter 1. Exodus chapter 1 says this. Now, these are the names of the children of Israel, which went to Egypt, every man in his household, Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, all them cats, right? For Joseph was in Egypt already. Now, watch this in verse 6. You guys got to go back and look at this. This has always pricked my heart. It's like, my goodness, Lord, how did this happen? You just saved an entire nation. You was wheeling and dealing with cattle and land, and money was failing, and you found a way to replenish and make Pharaoh the landowner. Man, you was doing it, brother. Pharaoh didn't forget you. He said, put your family down there. Everybody gets to eat at this table. And the Bible says, and Joseph died in verse 6 of Exodus chapter 1. Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation, they died. And the children of Israel, that's us, were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. Joseph died. His brothers died. Pharaoh died. You telling me that nobody wrote this down? All right. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's just do this for the archives. I know they didn't have paper. Probably didn't even have parchment back then. Let's just take this hammer right here. Bing, 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 bing. Put this in this stone. Joseph and them and his family, they was good to us. Okay, the reason why we are all not dead is because of Joseph, and those people down there in Goshen are a part of Joseph's crew. Let's do them people right. Right? Bing, bing, bing. Put that in stone. Hang it up in the Pharaoh. Hang it right next to the Pharaoh's throne. But the Bible says that Joseph died and that Pharaoh died and that whole generation died. Now, in verse 8, the Bible says, and now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. See, we see everything new. We like new shiny things. We like the sparkly things. We like all. You make all things new. Right. But new causes some of y'all to forget. New causes some of y'all to be blinded and think, oh, there's absolutely no way we could possibly ever degenerate back to the filth of people being marginalized and not being allowed to come into a restaurant. Really? Come on. Those days are over. Really? Because the Bible says, and now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mighty. Listen to me in the spirit. The people of the children of Israel are more mighty than we. They are more and they are mightier than we are. Come on, come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also with our enemies and fight against us. So get them up out of that land. Therefore did they set over them taskmasters. And for 430 years, the people from the lineage of the guy that kept everybody alive were now enslaved. Remember the previous Pharaoh said, hey, look, y'all good. We done arrived. Well, there was some time period in the midst of arriving, in the midst of growing, in the midst of thriving, that somebody forgot to pass the word. Somebody forgot to tell everybody how they got there. And this is why Black history is important, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not Louis Farrakhan. I'm not Malcolm X. Y'all know who I am. I am C.L. King. I ain't trying to be nobody else. But what I will tell you is that if we get too complacent, if we get too comfortable, if we become too satisfied, something like a silly virus can come and pollute our minds and blind our visions, and we can see ourselves reverting back to the old habits of our forefathers and find ourselves in chains that we did not know existed. There could be a bondage greater than having to move stones and make it with straw and hay. It could be something greater. It could be a greater bondage, and we don't even realize it. So what I'm trying to tell you, why I'm doing this deliberate, this belabored recognition of African American folks that are doing some amazing things, modern day people, so y'all don't forget. Everybody. I'm not going to, all of a sudden, we all down here enjoying things, and all of a sudden, here comes some people ready to lock us up. Like, hey, yo, did anybody say, did we not pass this on to our children? It cannot be just for the 85 and 95-year-old folks that's still going to First AME Zion Church down there with 3 or 4 folks in the sanctuary. That generation is going to die off. Just like Dr. King, just like Malcolm X, just like everyone that suffered, just everyone, the generation died. And there arose a new king. There arose a new generation. The Bible says that knew not Joseph. Whose fault is that? So my job is to tell you, man, don't get twisted about Black History Month. It's a necessity. In fact, the folks that organized Black History Month would really love for it to be Black history is included into every holiday instead of just a once a month thing, once a year thing. They would love for it to just be all the history of Black achievements and accomplishments and contributions should be weaved into every holiday that we celebrate. But if we allow, listen, look how off balance COVID got the entire globe. We think we're so smart, we so sophisticated, and we got so much, and we got so much wealth, and there's so many of us. There's no way that it's impossible to fail. You heard that term, too big to fail? Well, guess what? Somebody came along and just used one simple thing: forgetfulness. Oh. Forgetfulness put 2 million people in slavery. Forgetfulness caused people to have to serve with rigor under a pharaoh that the previous pharaoh was celebrating them. Forgetfulness caused people to die. Forgetfulness caused firstborns to be killed. Forgetfulness was more powerful than any other thing relative to wealth or blessings or accomplishments or acclaim. So this is what we must do as a people, not just C.L. King, not just Tabari Wallace, not just Danny Brunson, not just Greg Smith, not just Victor Taylor, even though we're doing a Black History Parade this weekend, not just him, but all of us, every one of us. That's right. Whites, blacks, Mexicans, Lutherans, Catholics, Baptists, everybody needs to make sure that there doesn't rise us. Now we say there was a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph, but there's going to be a generation that arise that don't know how we got here if we don't keep it in the forefront. And with that, I yield my time back to Samson. There's no time to forget, ladies and gentlemen. There's no time to forget. Forgetfulness equates to bondage. Am I telling you the truth? I'm only telling you what's in the Bible. Okay, now if you want me to read something out of you want me to read something somewhere else, then I'm unqualified for that. That's not I stay in my swim lane. I know where I'm qualified at. What I see in the scriptures, it says that there was a great multitude of people, and there was a great famine in the land, And there was a great leader that said, we need to take care of these people. And everybody chipped in. And the whole land was unified. And it became not just about Joseph's crowd and the Egyptians, but everybody, man. And it, they honored the Pharaoh, kicking him back a fifth portion of whatever. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful setup. And then everybody began to grow. That's God's will. If something ain't growing, healthy things grow. And if it ain't growing, it's dead. Healthy things grow. So the people were growing. They were multiplying. They were in positions of prominence, as it should be. And then because something happened, they got blinded or distracted by someone or something for a generation. It only took one generation to die. A new Pharaoh raising up, and 430 years of bondage was the result. So tell your kids tonight why we celebrate Black History Month. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will see y'all. I have one more show this week. We have one more show this week. I think we have a really amazing life coach that we're going to be interviewing this coming Thursday. I don't have her stuff up, so just please forgive me. But this coming Thursday, we got one more show, and then we will be on the road in New Bern. Dr. Wallace, are you going to be at the parade, brother? They probably have you sitting up on like a golden chariot or something. Y'all just don't know how much I love Tabari Wallace. I hope you come, man. I hope you can be there. I'm going to be in the parade, in the Black History Parade, and so I'm looking forward to being a part of that. And Victor Taylor is going to be we do have two more shows, actually. Victor Taylor is going to be on our show early on Friday. We're going to have him on to talk about the Black History Parade in New Bern, North Carolina. And I'm going to have him on and give you some details about what's going on, kind of the history of it. And then I'm going to be speaking at a special event there after the parade. It's called the After Parade event. Thanks, Greg. And there's going to be some VIPs there, and I'm going to be speaking about the Great Fire in New Bern. So, and when I talk about fire, can't help but get burned, right? So that's coming this weekend, February the 19th. It's also my daughter's 22nd birthday, so I got to fit all this in the weekend. So we'll start the day out at the parade, get her celebrated later on that night. Victor Taylor Friday. And we have a guest coach and therapist. I mean, she's got more credentials than, my goodness, you're going to be very blessed to listen to her. So tune in Thursday at 8:30, Friday at 5 o'clock with Victor Taylor. And then Saturday, we might do some live footage from the Black History Parade. I'll be there. And so, Tabari's going to be there. Awesome. Life is good. And I want to thank everybody for your support of what we're doing. At the end of the month, at the very end of the month, I have an amazing thing coming up. It's going to be at 7 o'clock. The very end of the month, I have 3 dynamite speakers. I ain't even going to tell you yet. I'll tell you the start of next week. 3 dynamite speakers. We're changing up Midnight Motivation. It's still on Friday, but this is so good. We got to make sure everybody awake for this one. So Friday, the last Friday in February, we'll have 3 unbelievable world-class speakers, 7 o'clock right here, live on stage together. And we just can't believe that we secured this. So we're very, very blessed. And then we'll close out February and head on into March. I got to keep writing, y'all. I'm not a fan of writing. I actually hate it. There's nothing about it I like, because I know what's in my head. And if you ask me to just speak it, then I can rock it. But man, to actually put it there, then I start putting it in categories and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, if you want to see Tabari Wallace, he's going to be the 5th car in the parade. He's going to be throwing candy bars to the young kids out there. So I might just get out of my car and follow behind the 5th car. Yeah, so we'll put up a flyer on that. Dr. Tabari Wallace will be there. And we've got some other amazing folks. Victor Taylor and the Vision Forward folks put this on every year. It was canceled last year because of the pandemic. But thank God this year things are turning around for our favor. So don't forget. Don't forget how we got here. All right, that's been your Impacting Life 24/7 show for tonight. I hope it blessed you. Share this with someone. And when you share it with them, tell them, don't forget. God bless you. We'll talk to you again soon.